Good morning. Welcome to Delta Media Group's Tech Tuesday. We are getting a little bit of a late start today, but happy Halloween. Apparently, a lot of our equipment had actually been haunted this morning, and that's why nothing was working. Nothing was working. That, and I decided to take that time while we were trying to get the equipment work so that I could really hone in my latent psychic abilities. So this is what I learned. That's not bad, right? I mean, for just the time it took me. For the time it took me to get our equipment to work, I think I'm doing pretty good. All right, so this week we are going to cover seller reports. And we've done some sort of seller report coverage before, but this time we've added some new features to it. So basically I'm going to go over seller reports as kind of just how you get them set up and what they are. And from there we'll go into what the new feature is. So basically I'll just point out the new feature as we come to it. All right, so into the DeltaNet. All right, so here in the DeltaNet, you can see us on our welcome page as usual. I'm going to scroll down here to listings and active listings, and we can see all of my fake active listings in here. Now you note that this one says one report to seller and agent, so that means I have one seller report set up there, and it's set to go to both the agent and the seller. Agent being you, of course, in this case me. So the one below it says none set, so I don't have any seller reports there at all. So what I'll do is click on the existing one, though it doesn't matter too much. Now if I have one set up, it'll take me to the page that shows me all of the seller reports I have set up. If I don't, I'll go back here, there we go. We'll try this clicking the right button. So if I click on none set, it takes me to a wizard that allows me to set one up. So now if I want to set one up, I will click on which option I want here. Either I want a report that goes to just me as the agent, or I want one that goes out to my seller. In this case, I'll go ahead and pick one to go out to my seller. If I enter the seller's information here, so we'll do so I put in just their name and email address, and this is for my seller. And what happens is when I click next step, it'll search my customer database and try to find a matching account for this email address. If it finds one, it'll basically add the seller report to that account. If it doesn't, it'll ask me if I want to create a new one. In this case, no matching seller found, so I can go down here and click Add Seller, and that creates an account for them. Now from here, I can choose, and keep in mind you can change the day of the week, and you can change who this seller report will send to using this. So you can go back in here later on and you can come in and change it if you need to. So this isn't set in stone once you create it. But I'll say in this case, I can do agent only, or seller with a copy to the agent. So the email goes to both. So we'll say seller with a copy to the agent for this one. It picks sending on Tuesday because it's Tuesday, but you can set that for any day of the week you want. And then the new feature we've added to this is the ability to override the defaults for the area that's included for the comp listings it shows on these. So to give you just a little bit of background on what these seller reports actually are, is you attach these to your current listings that are for sale, and what they'll do is send out a weekly report that'll have all of the listing traffic data. So it'll send a report to your seller that says this is how many hits have gone to your listings detail page. It will also include nearby comparable listings, so they can get an idea of what their competition is basically in the market. This allows you to fine-tune what the system considers their competition. So by default, it does this 30% price range that it has listed here, but if you want to change that, you can say only include comps that are from a certain minimum and maximum price, minimum maximum square feet, beds and bathrooms. You can make sure that it includes only residential. You can make sure it includes only certain property types. That way, let's say you have a condo for sale, and that's what the seller report's going out for, but it's trying to compare it with single-family listings, and they're just not the same thing, so it's not really going to be an accurate comparison or an accurate list for your customer. So what you can do here is you can go in and tell it exactly what you want to send through, and it'll do that. You can also narrow it down with different types of locations. So if you want to allow multiple zip codes, You can choose the zip codes that you want specifically to attach to this listing. And you can do that with any of this criteria here. So if we want to do it with cities, you can type in cities that are closer. And the idea here is it just allows you to really fine-tune these reports to get the closest you can to getting your customer the accurate, the most accurate comparables you can send out to them in these reports. So they're really getting the right kind of information. Once you have this all set up, you just click Finish, and then your seller report's set to go. From here, it'll automatically send out every week on its own, or if you wanted to just fire one off so that you can see it right away or see a preview of it, you can click this Send Now button right here. Now the other thing you can do with seller reports is, let me scroll down here to Preferences, Email Messages. You can customize your seller reports on this page, or at least certain aspects of them. So let's see, free reports, new listings. There's a lot on this page. It's in here though. There we go, seller report options. So from here, you can tell it whether you want it to include that competing listing section at all. So if you just customize the criteria for that, obviously you'll want to include it, but if you don't, you can turn that off here. You can also decide whether or not it shows pendings. You can decide whether or not it will show recently sold listings if there's sold listing data going into your site. You can include search engine crawler views or not. Some people are interested in that to know how much the search engines are hitting their detail pages, and some not so much. And then down here you can also choose the different templates. So right now this is our newest template, but that is basically what the seller report is going to look like when it goes out to your customer. It's going to have the property information up here, just basic information, a photo of the property, your branding up in the top right, your name and your agent photo, and then down here at the bottom, traffic graphs, and below that the actual listing traffic on your property. And then it'll show all the comparable listings and pending listing sections and stuff if you're including those below all that. So there you go. That is all there is to it, to setting up seller reports. And the new feature, you can actually update the specifics of the comparables now, so it's good stuff. So as always, thank you very much for joining me this week, and happy Halloween, everybody. It's a solid Halloween. So I will be looking forward to see you next week. Feel free to send us an email or give us a call, or if you have any suggestions on videos, go ahead and comment on the videos, anything like that. So I'll see you next week.